Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I am streaming to you this lesson from beautiful Budapest here in Central Europe, the capital city of Hungary. I hope everybody is having a fantastic week so far. Welcome to the class. We are looking at an IELTS Task 2 writing section for the academic, but it's also very similar for the general. Now, this is a members chat class, and everybody is welcome to watch. Lots to learn. Hi, Preeti. There's our first member joining in. Hi, Paranjay. Good to see members on time. This lesson is brought to you by our world-class online IELTS study software, aehelp.com. for academic IELTS, and for general, check us out at gieltshelp.com. While we wait for a few more members to join in on this class, hi Danish, Alexander, Shanghung. I'll quickly show you these websites. This is our general web portal for IELTS learners with a green background. Click that red button to join us there. And if you're studying for the academic, aehelp.com with the blue background, click that red button to join us there. We just uploaded some new speaking lesson videos in high definition to this website, so check those out. You can also see those new videos on your app. Download our app, Academic IELTS Help. Hi Zainab, good to see many of you in class nice and early. If anybody has questions, comments, concerns, send me an email, Adrian, A-D-R-I-A-N, at aehelp.com. So again, this class, we are looking at a Task 2 question. We're going to start that off today with some planning strategy, writing the introduction, and then the lesson will be followed by a listening section lesson, part 3 and 4, continuation from last week. So that's later today in about 90 minutes. Tomorrow we finish the Task 2, then we do a reading with everyone, and then we continue on with some more classes all the way until Saturday. Let's take a look at today's question. Hi, Kleber Ogata. Here we go. Let's read it together. As always, when you get to the Task 2 of the writing section, your first step is just read the question carefully. So IELTS Task 2 writing. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Okay, practice that 40-minute time limit. Many people want to buy brand names in clothes, cars, and other items. What are the reasons for this, and is this a negative or positive? Give explanations and examples to support your opinion from your own experience. Write at least 250 words. And again, you should spend no more than 40 minutes on this task. So once you feel that your writing is getting quite fluent, make sure to do timed practice for these Task 2 essays. Okay. All right, so I read the question. I'm practicing this at home. What do I do next? So I read the question carefully. I have a pretty good idea that I understand it. What should I do next? Hi, Amarjit. What is my step number 2 after reading the question carefully? And always do this when you're practicing at home. In fact, I suggest doing this on the exam. Remember, the number one mistake to this day, the number one mistake that students make on the IELTS exam is students write off topic. They don't answer the question. And or They do not answer the question specifically. No matter how good you write, no matter how good your vocabulary or your grammar, it's virtually impossible to get a band 7 or more, or even a 6.5 if you're going off topic, if you're not giving the examiners an answer that's clearly related to the exact question that they're asking. So Paranjay says, well, for step 2, to make sure that you're going to be specific and on topic, you need to paraphrase. So do that now, members. Paraphrase this question. Okay? So never be lazy to do this. Always take a few minutes to paraphrase the question, state it in your own words, make sure that you understand it, and answer it specifically. All right? So I'm going to do that, okay, while you do it, and then we'll compare. All right, that's my paraphrase. Let's see what you come up with. Danish says, a lot of individuals choose to invest in brand names like garments, motor vehicles, and other stuffs. Instead of stuffs, Danish always avoids stuffs, other objects, okay, or other merchandise. Explain the reasons for these choices, Danish, plural, these choices. And is this negative or positive? Very good. Now, Danish, do remember to paraphrase the specific question. So here it also says, give explanations and examples for your argument from your own experience. So it's important to recognize that. It's good to paraphrase that, Danish, just to make sure that you keep that in mind, that you are giving support from your own experiences. Okay? But so far, so good. So Danish, you used some very different words than I did, but it was a very good paraphrase. Okay, Alexander says a bunch of people are inclined to buy brand clothes, vehicles, and other goods. Elaborate on this trend's reasons from your own experience and explain whether this is good or bad, right, Alexander? Don't forget that secondary question, the good or bad. That's a very important part of this. Alexander, a bunch of people in speaking, it's okay. In writing, especially the academic one, it's too colloquial. A bunch of, for people, is very slang. If you say a bunch of flowers, that's okay, or a bouquet of flowers, but a bunch of people is very slangish. So keep it to speaking. Don't use that in writing. Okay, but otherwise very good, Alexander. So it's nice. I like how you used the word inclined. Inclined in this case means preferential. They prefer to, preferential. Very good. Preeti says, most people desire to purchase branded company attire, automobiles, and other products. What are the cause of these attitude? What are the cause of this attitude? Okay, and is this good or bad? All right, Preeti, that's good. I like it. CR7 guy says nowadays, CR7 guy nowadays is one word. Okay, so believe it or not, it's a spelling mistake when you write it as 3 words. So write that as 1 word. Nowadays, 1 word, comma. Because anytime you start a time expression as the start of the sentence, it's followed by a comma. So nowadays, there is a social stigma for buying branded merchandise. What is the cause of this attitude, and is it good or bad? Really nice use of the word stigma. CR7 guy, yeah, absolutely. Amarjeet says a number of individuals have a desire to purchase branded items like outfits, cars, and other products. What are the causes of it, and is it positive or negative? What do you think? Not it is it, Amarjeet? Is it, because it's question, right? Otherwise, very good. Members, some really nice paraphrasing. I can tell that each of you are applying your own diction, your own style, vocabulary, word choice, and it's great to see that as a teacher, that nice variety or variance of paraphrases. Very good. Shanghung says a lot of people have a desire to buy famous companies' products such as clothing, vehicles, and other. Okay, wearings is a bit weird, Shanghung. Wearings it's understandable, but it's unnatural. Why do they choose these brands, and is this a benefit or a deficit? Good. Parunje says a considerable number of the population prefers to spend their money on branded merchandise like clothes, cars, and other related items. You don't need the related items. It's not necessarily related. What are the causes of this trend? Is it good or bad? Okay. Alexander, you saw a bunch in a physics book, interesting physics book. In certain cases in physics, Alexander, bunch does make sense. Okay. For certain items, a bunch would work, but not for people. Okay. We do use it. Alexander, we do use bunch for people in everyday colloquial language, not in business or academic. Okay. All right. Kleber says a high number of persons like clothing, automobiles, and other objects with a recognizable brand name. What is the causes of this, and is this positive or negative? Kleber, very good. Instead of valuable brand, recognizable brand. Recognizable, it means you look at it and you go, oh yeah, that's Adidas. Oh yeah, that's Versace, right? Okay, good. Here's my paraphrase. Millions of individuals prefer to purchase name brands for clothing and automobiles as well as other products. Why is this? Is this good or bad? Give explanations and examples for your argument from your own experience. Okay, so next step, what do we do? Members, so these days I'm trying to hand over this going through the steps. So step 1, read the question carefully. Step 2, we paraphrase using our own words. What is step 3 in our planning process? What should I do now? Paranjay says, come up with a thesis statement. That can be very challenging, Paranjay, to just throw out a thesis statement. You have to go a little bit more step by step so that you can create a good thesis statement, Paranjay. And to do that, we have to do what Shanghung is suggesting. And Shanghung says, first, make sure to identify the topic and the controlling idea. Absolutely. Sure. So what is the topic? Yeah, Zainab says, define the topic, first step. Absolutely. Yeah, be very clear and make sure that you know what you're talking about before you start writing about it. Okay? So it's very, very dangerous to begin writing without having an exceptionally clear idea of what you're actually writing about, because you have to explain that to your reader clearly and go into a deeper discussion with its controlling ideas. So you really have to focus in on that. So Danish says it's buying branded products. I don't think so, Danish. I think that's too specific for the topic in this case. I would go a little bit simpler. Yeah, so, okay, students, I see what you're doing here. You're talking about buying branded products. So yes, we can go that distance, but I would even just take it a notch down in this case and simplify the topic. Okay. So yes, we can go with buying branded products, but I would just go with branded products. Okay. So we could go, yes, I agree with you that we could go as far as saying buy brand name products. But before we do that, here I think for my logic, I'm just going to keep it simpler and say brand name products. And for my controlling idea, and in this case controlling ideas, we'll go with reasons for buying brand names and good or bad. Okay, so I'm going to identify my topic simply as brand name products, and controlling ideas as reasons for buying brand names and good or bad. Okay, now we don't have to have 100% agreement on the topic controlling idea or the specifics of it, as long as we're on the same subject. What's my next step? Yeah, and it looks like Raghu and Danish, Shanghung, you have some good ideas, so you're on the right track, absolutely. So Danish says, think about it critically. So what, why, how? Yeah. So if we're really breaking it into step by step here, then our step 4 is think about each critically. So think about... Now, when you practice this at home, viewers, members, you can get very fast at this. So this does not take a lot of time. So think about the controlling idea and topic, or I should say think about the topic and controlling idea critically. In the simplest form, meaning ask what, why, and how. Okay, so always practicing that clear, simple logic. So what is a brand name product? Okay, so let's start with that. So what is a brand name product? And here you're going to see why I kept it simple, why I didn't say buy a brand name product. I just kept it as brand name product. So what is a brand name product? Okay, and I'm giving you this question right now, members, but the next questions you're going to ask, not me. I want you to generate the questions, okay? So what is a brand name product? So Alexander says it's a product that everyone knows. So Shanghung says people can recognize this product worldwide. Okay, not necessarily the product itself, but the manufacturer of the product, right? So careful with your words here. And this is why it's important to really focus in on the topic and the specifics. So an easily recognized maker of a product, right? So it's not the product, it's not the shoe that we recognize, but it's the Nike swoosh, that it's a Nike shoe. So it's the maker of the product that we recognized. Yeah, so Paranjay says it's a produced, manufactured product by a company that has a very good reputation. Okay, so it's a easily recognized maker of a product or logo. Yes, Very good. All right. So what's my next question? What is my next question? Danish, it's wrong because you're not thinking about the what question. Okay, you'll see here later on. Yvonne, advertised products, not necessarily. Okay, not necessarily. Okay. So Alexander says there is written Y on your desk. Not sure where you're going with that, Alexander. Careful with this question here, students. Think big, think small. Think about specific products. So Danish says why brand name products, but that's not a very clear question. Raghu says, why is it that many people prefer branded products? No, that's still not the right question. CR7 guy says, why is owning a branded product considered a high thing in society? No, that's still not the right question. Paranji says, why do people choose these products specifically? Okay, you're getting closer. Zainab says, why is the name of a brand recognizable? Okay, I see that some of you are starting to think a little bit more critically now. Shanghung says, why do these products become recognized? Yeah, that's the right question, Shanghung. That's the right why question. So why do certain names, manufacturers, logos become So why do certain companies become brand names is another way to say it. Okay, that's the right question. And this question, students, is extremely important. Asking and finding this right question will make the difference between a band 6 and a band 7.5 essay. Guarantee you. Okay? So this is the right question. Why do some companies become brand names? All right? So Alexander says because of advertising. Okay. Amarjit says because of quality. Okay. Any other answers? Paranjay says because of the success associated with the brand over time. Okay. Zainab says the cost, perhaps. Students here also remember your up-down and down-up processing, right? So think about some products that are brand names, like think about Apple, think about Nike, Adidas, think about McDonald's. Try to think about what happens. Why do these become big brand names? Okay, so Zainab says maybe the cost. There's still one that I haven't seen yet. Reputation is what they build over time. Okay. Think of Apple. Why might Apple? Apple is arguably one of the most recognized brands in the world right now. Why is that? Aha, CR7 guy says maybe they did something unique and innovative. That's right. Okay, so perhaps they did something better, than everybody else, or something new that nobody else had done before. Okay? Absolutely. Okay, Alexandra, I love how you're having tons of fun with this question. Students, if you get a question that's particularly exciting and interesting for you and you feel passionate about, just remember, in the IELTS exam, your goal is not to convince the world of your ideas. Your goal is to get a high band score. Stay focused on your goal. The examiners read hundreds of essays. They're not going to say, oh, look at this guy's essay. Wow, that really changed my thinking. No, leave that for your future university. Leave that for your future job. But for the exam, just stay focused, go through the steps, okay? Don't get too excited with certain questions. Also, don't be bored by certain questions. Don't be like, ah, this is boring. I'm just going to focus on your goal. Get a good band score, okay? All right. So how? These are the examples, okay? Okay, so for when you're thinking of the how question, think about examples, okay? So what would be a quality product? What would be a unique, innovative product? So I already gave you an example here with Apple, right? Definitely not cheap, but Apple makes high quality product computers with innovative features, okay? What would be another one? Now, don't forget the original question. The original question is clothing and automobiles. Can you give me an example with clothing or automobiles where we can say, yeah, it's a brand name. They give quality. They give innovation. Sure, people buy it. Okay, it's long lasting. So CR7 guy says Gucci. Okay. Okay, beautiful, durable, quality garments, sure. Let's see. CR7 guy says Lamborghini. Okay. Kleber says Under Armour. It's quite a new, relatively new brand name. Absolutely. Yvonne says Tesla. Very good. Right, Yvonne? Absolutely. For cars, Tesla. High quality. Electric. Luxury electric vehicles. Okay, so now you're thinking, right? And that's your up, down, down, up processing, okay? All right, so by thinking about the what, why, how for the topic, so all we did here is we clearly identified the topic of brand name products. And oftentimes, you don't have to overcomplicate. You just think, okay, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're talking about brand name products. Well, what are these? They're recognized company names, basically logos, right? So all we're doing is, what are we talking or writing about, right? And then we say, well, why? Why do these companies become brand names? Well, because of clever advertising, because of quality of products, because of success associated with brands over time, reputation, unique and innovative. Okay, how can we see them? Through these examples. Okay, now if we go to the what, why, how for people buying it, we're going to end up with the same ideas. So what should be our next question? What is the next logical question? After I have all of these ideas, what would be my next question? What do you think? What's the next logical question for me to ask in my mind on the exam, at home, on paper, to come up with some clever ideas for a quality, high-level response? Yeah, very good. So Raghu says, let's just jump to the good or bad, right? So So what are the benefits of buying brand name products? Okay, so what are the benefits? What's positive? Sure, we can start with one side. What do you think? What are the benefits of buying a brand name product? Let's see what you come up with. I think you'll get this one fairly easily. So Danish says durability. Long lasting. Long lasting is durable. Sure. So of higher quality. Right? Inaja Alves says they have credibility. Okay. All right. Alexander says people can show off. What's another way to say show off? So what is a more academic way to say show off? Can anybody tell me that? It is a reason why we buy certain brand names, Mercedes, BMW. We like to show off our status, or I don't want to say because you're going to know exactly what I mean, but what is it? Yeah, show status. That's right, Inaja Alves. It's a status symbol. Absolutely. So Raghu says better quality, durability, easier maintenance. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's a good point, Raghu. Brand name products are easier to maintain, repair, or replace. If you buy a unique product, a television or a car, and it breaks down, good luck trying to get it fixed, okay? Dana says user-friendly, attractive. Has anybody said cutting edge? Does everybody know what cutting edge means? What is the meaning of cutting edge? Yeah, Shanghong, we can flaunt it, we can brag about it. Yeah, that's right, CR7 guy. It's the latest technology. Okay. Yeah, that's right, Shanghong. Another good word to use. It's a pioneer in the industry. Okay, industry pioneer. And if you see some new words here, viewers, members, make sure you add it to your vocabulary list. Okay. All right. Good. So, what's my next question? What do I ask next? So clearly I have some benefits for buying brand name products. What is my next question? And I have a feeling most of you are going to get this very quickly. Preeti says a good customer service for the previous one, yeah. Okay, what is the bad part of buying brand name products? Exactly. So, all right, so what's the bad? What's negative about buying brand name products? The downside of buying them, Paranjay. That's right. Nice expression, Paranjay. The downside of buying brand name products. Is downside one word? Yeah. So Paranjay, downside is actually one word in that situation, okay? Not two words. English is funny that way. You just eventually feel those, Paranjay, which are the one word, two word, one words, like nowadays, okay? So Shang Hung says that it creates monopoly. Very good. So individual control. It's a tricky one, Shang Hung. It creates monopoly in the market that can lead to over control of products. That's right. Okay. Parunji, Alexander both say they're expensive. You're paying a premium. Okay. Pay a premium for the name. Yeah. You're paying for the ads. Yeah. Sure. Absolutely. Like Mercedes. It's a great car, don't get me wrong, but I do think you're paying a premium for that Mercedes name. Okay. CR7 guy says expensive and tough to replace if damaged. Possible. Yeah. Zainab says you can get addicted to brand names. So, yeah, addiction to the latest brands. Become a shopaholic. Yeah, believe it or not, there's actually a word like that in English. It's called not an alcoholic, but a shopaholic. So people become shopaholics. The Danish just said the same. Good for you, Danish. Okay. Oh, Alexander says, okay, people become ad banners themselves. Yeah. It's true. I love it when people walk around with a shirt that just says Adidas. Right, Alexander? Oh, it's a walking Adidas ad. Great. I'm poking fun, but I'm sure I've had a shirt or two with a giant logo like that on it. Okay, that's true. Okay, sure. So, fine, fair enough. We have our question for the benefits. We have our question for the negatives. What do I do next? What should I do next? Okay, what is my next step? So far so good. And again, you can do this very, very quickly when you practice these and get much better ideas for answers, explanations, examples. Step 1, you read the question carefully. Step 2, you paraphrase the question carefully. Step 3, you identify the clear topic and controlling idea or ideas. Step 4, you start to think about the right questions and the right answers. And then step 5, now finally you come up with your thesis statement. That's right, Shang Hung. You make your decision and you come up with your thesis statement. So step 5 is make a decision and write your thesis statement. Okay? So do that now. Members, take a minute to write your thesis statement. Okay? I'm going to give you a head start on this one. Remember, it's a good idea to check your question before you write the thesis statement. So I often recommend that that's a good idea. Okay. Just quickly reread the question. Make sure that you haven't gone off topic with all your planning. And this should take about 3 to 5 minutes. This whole step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it is advisable that you reread the question before you write your thesis. Okay. Now keep in mind, steps 1 to 5 in the official exam should take you no more than 5 minutes. All right, you need 35 minutes to write. So, remember your goal, to get a high band score. Okay? Good thesis will make a good essay. A bad thesis will make a bad essay. So always concentrate to write a good thesis statement. The thesis statement is not negligible. You must not write a thesis like, this essay will discuss the pros and the cons of buying brand name products. Yes, I hope it will. That's what the question's asking. So you haven't said much with that kind of a thesis statement. It's really not getting you any points, especially if 75 of the other 100 students is also writing the same thesis statement. This essay will discuss the pros and cons of buying branded clothes and give you my opinion. No, the other 75 students who wrote that are also not getting points for their thesis statement. So make sure to write an original, direct thesis statement with clear points. Okay. Very curious what you will come up with. Okay. Just one of many thesis statements. Raghu says, so when one decides to buy brand name products such as clothing or automobiles or other products, it is always advisable to research as much as possible before making the decision to buy them. Raghu, you're not answering the right question. You're going off topic. You're losing band scores. And Raghu, you have good English. I can tell by your vocabulary and your grammar. So you really have to be careful to answer the question accurately. Okay? Your thesis is unclear. It suggests to me, Raghu, that your essay will talk about researching products before purchasing. But the question is asking, is it good or bad to buy brand name products, and why do people buy such products? And I don't think your thesis is aiming to answer that question, Raghu, so be careful. CR7 guy says, it has become a recent trend to invest hard-earned money into branded goods like cars, clothes, and many more. In this essay, I will discuss why branded items. So CR7 guy, that's exactly what you should not write. Your first sentence is part of the background, not the thesis. And your thesis, which starts with, in this essay, I will discuss why branded items are worth the cash we splash. That is intrinsic to the essay. That's the question. I know that that's what your essay will be about because that's the question. So you need to tell me what reasons there are to cash or splash the cash, okay? Preeti says, although buying branded products creates a monopoly in the markets and addiction to shopping among people, they have a high quality credibility and cutting edge technology, which attracts millions of individuals. Okay, Preeti, that's much, much more accurate. So Preeti's thesis is the first one that's giving me, the reader, a clear direction to the answer for this specific question. From Preeti's thesis, I know that Preeti is going to argue for the overall benefit of buying brand name products, specifically because of their quality, credibility, and cutting edge technology. And that is a much better path to a high band essay. Shang Hung says, although there are many negatives of buying brand name products, like it creates monopoly in the market and makes buyers addicted to the latest trends, I believe that famous companies provide high quality and cutting edge merchandise just to replace products, Shang Hung. So merchandise, paraphrasing products, you're not repeating words. Absolutely, Shang Hung, it's a very nice complex thesis statement, very direct, very clear. Okay. Yvonne, the thesis statement is simply your sentence at the end of your introduction that creates the argument. The first paraphrasing is just making sure that you understand the question. So if you look at Preeti or Shang Hung's thesis statement, Yvonne, you'll notice that it's much, much more than just a paraphrase of the question. Simply paraphrasing the question, Yvonne, is just kind of giving background information. You're kind of giving a definition of how you understand that question. Okay? So the paraphrase, Yvonne, is more for the background than for the thesis. The thesis shows the direction of your essay. Is that clear, Yvonne? I hope so. That's very, very important to understand. Okay? Alexander says, while the bulk of individuals believe that we should buy a certain brand or good, since these items have higher quality, I believe that this trend is not good because the prices are overestimated. Why? Why, Alexander? So, Alexander, I have a feeling that you deep down in your soul, in your heart, you believe that name brands are not the right way for consumers to go. It's not the right direction. And that's fantastic. But Alexander, for the IELTS exam, your goal is to get a high band score. And I'm going to be brutally honest here. The examiner doesn't care whether you support or are against brand name products. They care about a good essay. And Alexander, for 250 words for a quick essay like this, it may be easier to write for the fact that brand name products are better. Be very careful. One way that you can do this, Alexander, and check it at home, is write both. So write an essay that explains that brand name products are good for consumers overall, and write another one that explains that they're bad for consumers. See which one is the faster write and which one is the easier to read and understand. And then you know what you should do on the exam. Okay. All right. Danish says, although certain individuals ascertain that investing in brand name products is a positive, I believe that purchasing these products have benefits. Okay, Danish, there's the contrast there is awkward. So although certain individuals ascertain that brand name products are a waste of money, comma, I believe that purchasing these merchandise have benefits such as quality and innovation. Okay, so Danish, you need to rethink your thesis so it's more clear. Okay. Amarjit says, although a number of individuals consider it beneficial to purchase branded products like outfits, automobiles, and other items, I believe that it puts a negative impact on society to enhance discrimination and expensive for destitute. Okay, you don't have parallel grammar, Amarjit. You have some good points for the negative, but you don't have parallel grammar. How about debt and discrimination, Amarjit? So if you want to go with the negative, and Yvonne, this might be your better, so Amarjit has a good approach to the negative side here. So if you want to go negative, sorry, Alexander, and not Yvonne, Alexander, you might want to go like this. So although much of the global population is preferential to brand name products, I believe these merchandise enhance is okay, Amarjeet, but I would go with result in greater debt and discrimination. Okay, so those are two good points for arguing against, right? We waste a lot of money buying brand name products, so we go into debt. Okay, credit card debt, financial debt, money troubles, and discrimination. So we point at people and we say, hey, that guy's awesome because they have an Apple. That guy is not so awesome because they have a Lenovo. So that's the discrimination, right? Especially among youth. And Amarjeet, that's a clever negative side of the response. It's definitely much clearer, okay? All right, so here you have a positive thesis for brand name products. Here you have a negative, okay? You don't have to overthink this one, students. You don't have to overthink it. So here we go. Although certain people may argue that brand name products are overpriced, I believe that they are beneficial to consumers because of quality and innovation. Okay, so obviously I'm going to argue the reasons why people buy them and that it's a benefit. Okay, so this one tells the reader, this thesis tells the reader that the writer will explain the reasons, quality and innovation, and argue for brand named products. Okay, so this is very clear in this case for the reader, and in this case the writer will explain the reasons, okay, and argue against brand name products. Which is debt, or which are debt and discrimination. Okay, could be monopoly as well. So make sure that your points are clear. Okay. Yeah, pretty pitfalls. Sure, you can use that as a synonym for negatives in a certain context. Absolutely. All right, okay, so now we have our thesis statement, and we're going to continue this tomorrow, members, with the full introduction. That's your homework, okay? So for the homework, you will need to write your hook, okay? You will need to write the background, and then add your thesis. Okay, those are the three elements of the introduction. I will, of course, have an introduction for us for tomorrow as well, a complete one. You use your planning, your critical thinking for the introduction. Okay, all right. Paranji, I'll give you feedback tomorrow when we do the full introduction. Make sure to join tomorrow's class. That's it for today, okay? And coming up in 30 minutes, we have the listening section, all right? Paranji, I just read yours quickly, and it looks pretty good, okay? I'll give you more feedback tomorrow. Again, members, students, if you have questions, send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com, okay? And for all of our viewers and all of our members, if you haven't yet, I know many of our members have our premium package. Check us out at aehelp.com for academic and gieltshelp.com for general. Those websites look like this, aehelp.com. We just added 3 of our videos earlier today to the speaking section here. And then gieltshelp.com, that looks like this with the green background. Members, viewers, coming up in 30 minutes, listening section 3 and 4, continuing from section 1 and 2 that we started last week, I think on Saturday. So if you have those answers with you, that's great, or your band score, then we'll be able to get an overall band score in the next class. All right, great work, everyone. I hope you've picked up a few key tips on how to get those better band scores for your essay writing. Hopefully, I will see you in 30 minutes for the listening. Bye for now.